Oh, tantalizing, you say? Well, I don't know. I feel like for Fury at this stage, like they have essentially been gifted a ticket into second place, right? Like Elevate losing out to Direwolves early on, as we can see in this graphic as well, means that Fury has this chance to actually skip out on the quarterfinal stage of the playoffs. And I feel like, to be honest, that's the story that I'm going to harp on about. I'm going with your lightning doesn't strike twice kind of theory. Sure. So surely Hasib Warriors do not get a point off Fury here. I feel like Knock Knock have done enough.
Like, honestly, from them, I would actually go as far to say that might be the biggest upset of the stage. I know that's a really wild thing to say considering Elevate beat Bleed and Fury had a couple of, let's say, miss games, but that win with Knock Knock, well, sorry, it's not a win. The point that Knock Knock have gained off of Jalita really does change the outcome of this game. And it also means that Fury's going to have a lot more pressure on them as well. Hasib can't cruise through this game now. They're going to have to be on top of their game at the forefront, making sure they're opening the rounds, making sure they're changing this game. And Fury are probably the most, if not the second most adequate at dealing with this, Dev. However, when push comes to shove, they have to turn up.
Yeah, and look, Fury do turn up. That's the thing, Rob. Like, they lost 2 games at the start of the stage, and since then they've only lost 7 rounds. 7 rounds in 4 matches. 7-0, 7-1, 7-1, 7-5. That's the only team in the league that's gone flawless back-to-back for the last 4 matches that they've played. And Fury are on a hot streak, and I think that they're cruising their way towards the top of the standings. I think these guys are going to finish in the top 2, because, yeah, there's a lot on the line for Hasib Warriors, right, where they're looking for a spot in the playoffs to get that one leg up over Knock Knock. But likewise, Fury have to push here and win this game in order for a chance to jump into the top 2 spots. So I'm really expecting big things out of these guys. I think they're in peak form. Yeah, some of the highlight players on this team have been a little bit slow. I know on the break, Rob, you wanted to talk about Crit J. He's like an absolute gamer. In the pre-match content, all of the players from different teams were saying, oh yeah, I want Crit J. He's my star frag on my team. He's still positive, but he's a little bit quiet, being shown up by BG, man. Once Crit J comes into form, like, it's all over for everybody. This guy is an absolute gunner.
It's very true. Crit J has made a very big name for himself. And if you don't know what we're talking about, I mean, it's too late now, but when we go into the match breaks tomorrow for the playoffs, watch the player content and watch how many players name Crit J in their starting 5, their dream team, whatever you want to call it. He seriously has been a very big pickup for this roster way back when, and now is just doubling down as he starts to get, I guess, better and better. Just a more quiet stage. Maybe he hasn't needed to be as big. You know, you've got the players like I9 who are taking, once again, that role of old. I9 used to be known as the best, most mechanical, sharp player in the region, and he's kind of come back into the fold since Crit J hasn't had to have that much of an impact. And like you said, 7 rounds in their last 4 games that they've lost, really starts to paint a picture as to where this roster is going, headed in to playoffs. But speaking of playoffs, Mandy, we need Hasib Warriors in the playoffs. Well, in fact, we don't have to have them in the playoffs. The beautiful thing about this is Knock Knock and Hasib are just fighting for that 6th place. But this roster, after their match last week, we were all super positive, thinking, hey, they've taken down Daystar 7-3. They are now looking on track to potentially take that final place. Can they do it today? I know you said lightning doesn't strike twice.
That's what you
said,
actually.
I did say that.
Look, I think for Hasib, they've actually sort of made history last week, right? I think it's the first time since the conception of the new Blast format that a South Asian team has beaten a Southeast Asian team, period, as I understand it. So they've done pretty good so far, but I think tonight's task is pretty monumental. It's an absolutely colossal mountain to be climbing if they want to get a point off of Fury, who I think as the stage has rolled on, they started out slow, but in their current form at the moment, it's like peak time going into playoffs, and I think Hasib Warriors have probably drawn the short straw, I think, in the timing that they've played against them. But I mean, yeah, Hasib Warriors, they've looked like relatively competitive, I would say, in the server, especially after the back of last week's game and interviewing the coach as well. I think it gave us a good idea that, like, look, these guys are taking it seriously, they are practicing, and whether it's going to translate in the server against one of the titans of the region, I don't think so, but I wouldn't count them out.
No. Unfortunately, Dev, the saying goes, Hasib wants peace, but he's going to have to get war here because there's no other way in which they're going to be able to get this across the line. That is not their average EPS. Surely not. No.
Yeah, look, I mean, the stats don't lie, except for when they do, but these stats, they're not lying right now. I'd actually be more concerned with their attack and defense win rates, particularly that defense win rate, just 37%. It's pretty pitiful. And yeah, these guys have had a real rough slog of it. They lost every single match, 5 games in a row, and for the most part, it just got worse and worse. Their closest one was against Knock Knock that they pushed to 12 rounds, but you know, at the end of it, they got 7-0'd by Elevate. And finally, last week, they got their first win. They took down Daystar. It was the first time a South Asian team has beaten a Southeast Asian team all year long. Of course, now Knock Knock have taken points away from Jalita, which is pretty close to doing the same. But yeah, Hasib have got a long way to go, especially against an informed Fury who knocked out or took down Knock Knock 7-1 last playday. So yeah, I'm really excited for Hasib. They have a huge task ahead of them, but I think it's possible. And you say lightning doesn't strike twice. I don't think we've ever seen 2 South Asian rosters beat 2 SEA rosters in the same night or the same week back to back. Like, I mean, these guys are the ones that did it last week. Maybe they could go back to back 2 weeks in a row, take down 2 SEA teams. It would really just be a miracle for these guys.
It would be, and it has to start here. In the veto process, that's right. We're only putting permutations around the individual rosters. Now it's time to open the canvas a little bit more and paint the picture for you. Unfortunately, for me, no Chalet. But it is nice to see a night without Chalet. I feel like we have not had a night since the opening playday without it. But we are going to be heading, I was going to say, surely not to Cafe. That would have been a bit of okay. A skyscraper? Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, help me digest this.
Well, this is exciting because we've actually never seen Hasib Warriors play it. Even if you look all the way as far back as like September last year, these guys still didn't play this map. They banned it a few times in their ban phases thus far in the league, and it's been banned against them a few times. It's not very a high priority map in this league, with the exception of a few teams that play it. And you know one of those teams that plays it, Rob?
Who?
It'd be Fury. Yeah, they've actually played it twice. Yeah, they got 4 rounds off of Bleed on this map, which, to be honest, isn't great. Like, I think Fury should be getting more than 4 rounds against Bleed. But that was the old Fury. You know, that was the Fury of Playday 1 and Playday 2, the one that was really struggling. Since then, they came back and they got a little bit of a fire up, and they went and they took down Daystar 7-1 on Skyscraper. So, I've no doubt that Fury are feeling pretty confident going into this map. I just think that Hasib need to have done their VOD reviews. They need to have really analysed Fury. They need to be confident, and they need to come in with a solid game plan and just make sure that they stick to their guns.
After speaking to their coach last week, Mandy, do you get the vibe, do you get the feeling that Hasib might have been fully prepared for this map?
Nah, I don't think so. I think, to be honest, I just think, I don't know. I feel like Hasib, with their current understanding of the game, it's probably too elementary, I think. And the thing that worries me about teams that haven't got like a super developed understanding of the game, especially like on the fundamental strategic side of things, is that Skyscraper is a really hard map to play if you don't understand how to play it, right? So I think, taking them, like seeing this go through in the pool is a big red flag to me. I actually hate how popular it is in Asia, to be honest. Like, it absolutely kills me that this map gets played so much. Especially, when it's quite a hard map to crack strategically, and even if you do have the map cracked down strategically, it can be even harder to execute because a lot of the ideas that are even like viable on the attack can be shut down pretty easily. So I think, for Hasib, I guess the one asterisk to that is that they do start on the defense side because February got the last map ban, right? So if there's anything that might help them out here, it's probably starting on the right side for it, really.
Get a little bit of momentum heading into that second half because you're going to need it, Dev. This is a scary prospect. The problem is, from Hasib's stats, it doesn't look like defense or attack are necessarily favored more than. How do we start to direct this conversation? How do we see Hasib get close to either regulation win or an overtime loss win? Doesn't make a difference. How do they push it there?
Well, the main thing here is that Hasib do start on defense, and Fury are really good. Actually, historically, this is quite a long stat, so it actually goes back the last 6 months. But Fury actually have a 69% win rate on their defense of this map. I know, very nice, right? And that's just, you don't want to be going against them on defense at the start. And so thankfully, Hasib have defense to kick it off. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but I think that that's going to be a comfort side for them. And then they can worry about Fury's own defenses when they move into the second half. I do just want to piggyback off another point that we were discussing earlier. We were talking about Crit J, right? Crit J, the gamer, the young gunner on this roster, but it occurred to me that the one that's performing best on this team at the moment is actually BG Man. BG Man not only is a top-rated player on this team during this league, but if you go back to the Atlanta Major, get this, BG Man was the 13th best player at that event. Wow. Out of 120 players, and this guy didn't even make it past Phase 2. Doesn't that tell you about how good this guy is? BG Man, I reckon he's been a bit of a backseat sleeper player for a while. We haven't really been like talking about him. He's not like, oh, he's not I9, he's not got the tats and the cold look, and he's not Crit J, the young gunner. BG Man's a quiet performer, but man, does he perform. He's been so good this stage, and his international performances back that up. I think he is one of the fundamental star players of this roster. I really want to see him perform. I do want to know, though, because I can't help but look in our chat on the side, and so I hope production can tell us. But apparently Fury are trying to get their 5th player in and struggling. And I just want to know, is that BG Man? Because if it is BG Man that can't connect, I don't know, I'd be very concerned. Who is it? BG Man's all good, apparently.
Okay.
Thank God. I really hope BG Man is all good because I think he's just such a big part of this team.
Oh, jeez. That's rough. Well, I guess, you know, Fury...
Oh, Crit J's missing.
Oh, wow.
Ironically.
Wow. That's kind of ironic considering the conversation we've had going into this. Yeah, I guess that's going to be a little bit interesting. So, Crit J out, and it seems like the coach in for Fury. If ever there was a time for Hasib to step up, it is now. It's time for us to go to Guz and Xenox.
Yes, it is, Rob. Thank you very much. And we get to see good old Mad Duck Ranger make another appearance, or Vaughn, whichever one he wants to go by. I'm actually not quite sure which one it is, but I think it's Vaughn in game. So we'll go with that one. But look, big game coming up. Hasib Warriors, we've already kind of laid it out on the table, guys, when it comes to what they need to do now. Overtime loss or better. Simple as that to get into the playoffs. For Fury, it's a matter of how much they value that bye. 2nd place versus 3rd place. The difference really is, more or less, you just don't have to play a game against one of the South Asia teams.
Yeah, eager to jump into this one. It's unfortunate for Fury that they'll be playing this one with a substitute, but it actually isn't the first time they'll have to have done that in this particular stage. They did that back against Dire Wolves. It was Dark that was exchanged out for the coach that time round, and we thought that was going to make things quite difficult for them. Because way back then, Fury were also mid-pack. They did get away with that one though, 7-5, and I don't think for this matchup it should change things up all too much. But with Hasib Warriors very eager to get a result, who knows? This could be another one of those funny games.
Yeah, could be. We'll see. Fury on the attack to begin as well. So defense, Skyscraper very prevalent. Hasib Warriors will definitely get every kind of opportunity to start well. Although in this particular region, admittedly only played 3 times Skyscraper. It's not exactly overwhelmingly favorites to the defense. 53% isn't really all that crazy. Certainly every chance that Fury will be able to do more than enough. Montaigne banked out by Hasib Warriors. Not really too surprising. Very strong operator when it does come to Skyscraper, pushing through a lot of these chokeholds. And the Ying as well for on-site executions, Fenrir, and so far, yeah, all 3 bands have been pretty much staples to this particular map. And yeah, it is Vaughn to confirm that one.
Yeah, it's going to be intriguing to see how the team of Fury look to play around Crit J not participating in this particular matchup. In terms of rating, he's been middle of the road, oddly enough. At least according to CGG, both him and Vaughn both share the same primary operators in the Dockerby and the Legion. So assuming that they play similar roles here on Skyscraper, that could be one saving grace, that the rest of the team doesn't then have to conform around Vaughn filling the support role or the more flex role. And so that'll be a big positive for them. Yeah, eager to jump into this one. I think irrespective of the sub, Fury should still be rather dominant. That being said, starting out here on attack, Skyscraper could be a little bit rough for them, so we'll see how they go.
Yeah, it needs to be said as well that for all intents and purposes, Fury outright dead set favorites. 8.8 million channel points on Fury, just the 1.4 million on Hasib Warriors. I say just, that's still quite a lot actually. Saw earlier though today that it's not exactly always the easiest to predict after Knock Knock. We have an almighty scare to Jalita Esports in our previous game. That one going all the way to 8-7. Jalita held on, got the win. Knock Knock had 3 match point opportunities, couldn't get the job done, and just leaves the door slightly ajar for Hasib Warriors, guys. It's quite simplified. 6 rounds, you go to the playoffs. Anything less than that, and you will be heading home in second last.
So IQ in play then for the first round, and that will be a strong counter to the lineup presented here by the defense, namely Zdux on the Valkyrie. Been a big fan of Zdux throughout the stage. He's certainly had some good moments. And it's not too surprising to see that he is one of the top-rated players on the team. One of his strengths lying in entry as well at a +3 heading into the night. It's going to be a map sweep from Fury. They'll kick things up over towards Geisha off the back of the exothermic. Dark to take control of top black stairs. And so Zdux will be the first to be pressured.
Yeah, good pressure onto Geisha early into the round as well. Means that for Zdux, kind of difficult to peek and move around this position. Pressure on both sides. Can just kind of play behind the blocks. Flash, but Nitrocell. Pretty decent. Vaughn able to kind of just watch that explosion. Zdux might actually look to see if he can confirm whether there's someone there or not. The timing, unfortunate for Vaughn, but I9 in a good position to get the immediate trade. As Vaughn was looking for another flash. Clear out that Geisha position. They do get the kill. A 1-for-1 trade. But it is the coach. That is down. Mad Duck Ranger, Vaughn. And that's a very small win, I think, for Fury, taking Zdux out of this position of Geisha as well. 60 seconds left. 4 versus 4. Still good drum and mezzanine control for Hasib Warriors.
Well, that engagement goes the way of Dark. Good pick on the IQ. T control obtained. Frag grenade can be used to dislodge this castle barricade, and Taha under immediate pressure, ultimately forced back. So it will be a 3v4 skirmish on the objective itself. Doesn't bode particularly well here, unfortunately, for Hasib in this opening round against a weakened Fury playing with a substitute. They have flashes to dislodge this position, and so Taha sees white, rips the Nitro. Placed right, but not timed correctly. Like Coles eventually will kill him with the Kiba, take it down.
Ooh,
2.
Colas.
Now Diddy position known inside of Lounge, like Colas crosses, will survive. Dark falls, but the trade comes through. And it must be said, not a bad start from Fury.
He got it down there as well, so it was a 1v2. He got 2 in that little position. But yeah, Fury, far too clinical. Certainly some moments in that round where Hasib Warriors had every opportunity, but you're losing primaries already. Offers an exhibition, very strong sight. When it does come to Skyscraper, defense should very well prevail in this matchup. Fury is going to be very difficult to beat on their own defense in the second half. So for every attacking round Fury can garner early in this opening half, it's just going to make their life so much easier in the second half. Great start. Good early Geisha control. Sweep across was pretty clinical. Won the battle over towards the mezzanine pretty quickly. And they just kept that flow-on effect going. Nice push from Lycolas through Dragon. Immediate change up from Hasib Warriors. Give up on Office and Exhibition over towards Tea Room and Karaoke now. Reminder, this is our last game tonight. Last game of the group stage, and playoffs for Asia League begin tomorrow. Short turnaround. And that's the question here for Fury. Will it be a short turnaround? Will they have to play tomorrow if they don't get the result they're searching for? Or will they get the week off?
Yeah, certainly time will tell. But a good first round, it must be said. Vaughn doing his job relatively well. Despite dying, he was pivotal in just fulfilling that basic hard breach role. And that's just important that he just chips away and gets his basics done. Anything from there is really just a bonus for Fury. Vault to come through from I9. It's aggressive through bathroom. looking for Blackstairs control, and we'll see how Hasib respond.
Opening kill for I9, and already the blitz employed with that Montang ban, probably indicating Hasib don't want to deal with these shield operators. Bring it out. There's a chance to get the kill onto Doctor. So much control already established still with over 2 minutes on the clock. All of top black in control. Talon shield placed down, coupled with the blitz shield. There's shields everywhere right now for Fury. Collis on the repel. Smoke. We're not really actually aiding him all that much, to be completely honest. A little bit of a delay. Shield dealt with. Falcon canister. Blown up. And a very fast start to the round for Fury has subsequently just been stalled out a little bit.
Oh, Doctor had a small window of opportunity there to maybe pluck one back for free. BG Man crossing that particular position. Minute 30 on the clock, the pacing slows. I9 can continue to spot for info and sees one top main. You just need to formulate a quick plan in dislodging these crosses, and it relies on I9 going deep. Also on I9, putt disconnecting. Zedux 1v5 round all but over at this point. I don't think the disconnect would have had the biggest of impacts. It's really just the beginning of the round. Explosive from Fury. Good use of the blitz. Plant will be confirmed by Colas. Repel already being held back to the staircase. So 2 main stairs. So Zedux not really with any place to go. Drone comes forth. Zedux timed again. And with 30 seconds on that fuse. Despite winning that kill, he should not win this round. Impact to come through. I9 takes a chip of damage. Well, I9 started the round, and it looks like he'll end it. Flash comes through. Pistol shots follow. And it's back-to-back rounds for Fury.
Yeah, very fast-paced round from Fury to begin, and that was enough to really overwhelm Hasib Warriors. Full top black control from there. Looking down the hallway, sides became very vulnerable very quickly. The opening 2 kills really gave them a significant advantage, and Fury never looked like succumbing in that round. Got stalled out momentarily, but then dealt with that and got full site control. 2 opening attack rounds here on Skyscraper, and so far business as usual for Fury, and as expected in this matchup. I9, I think he's ready for bed. Aren't we all, mate? Aren't we all?
Oh, he put Hasib to sleep in that round, must be said. Defense not really dealing with that shield all too effectively. Blackstairs was weakened. Technical pause now called. Fury, I'm sure, eager to jump back into the server. Good start for them. Not really looking too much like they're playing with a sub at the moment, which is a big positive for them. In some ways, Skyscraper, you can hide your sub on that hard breach roll pretty easily, and they don't have to do anything too advanced to get their basics as their job done, so... If you can find what
You don't need to hide Vaughn at all.
Kind of make 4 of it. Well, you have to a little bit.
Not
and that's
really.
No, you do.
Bloke's turning 38 this year, mate. He's full of experience. He knows what he's doing, okay? He's got experience on his side.
I'm not saying
He's been here before. He's played before. He's been to an SI, mate.
I'm not saying it in a disrespectful
Not as a player,
manner.
but...
I'm not saying it. Yeah, actually, to be fair, he went 6-9 against Star Wars, so he didn't do too bad. But you don't have to, like, super hard hide him, but
No.
I'm just saying that you can exemplify his strengths and just getting the basics done pretty easily on this map.
Imagine he just plays Deimos and sits on top of the roof tracking people. Just calling out where they are. That's your role.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, we've seen Sage do it. He's getting on in age as well, so...
Yeah. Might only have a
Same.
couple of years in him. 1 more,
Yep.
2 more years.
Just waiting on Doctor to get back into the server so we can continue here. 2-0 start for Fury. Got to feel a little bit for Hasib Warriors. They would have been watching on. I mean, the start of the night tonight, I don't have Sprabuni's statistics. I don't know if you've got it either, guys. I'm not throwing you under the bus. If you don't have it, that's fine. But my gut feeling is that they would have been pretty highly the more favored team statistically to hold on to their 6th place spot, considering the round differential that Knock Knock had. The 2 teams and who they were playing against. It's why at the start of the night, I'm sitting here saying, well, it's a matter of who can lose the best. and then knock go on it and force OT and get 1 point changes everything for Hasib. No longer is it a case of, hey, we just need to make sure we hold on and get to, like, say, 3 rounds. Imagine this was a situation where all Hasib need are 3 rounds. Now, not the greatest start because you're on defense to begin and you've already lost 2. So even in that world, I'd be starting to worry for them already, but far more opportunities to come back if you only need the 3 rounds. Far more possible, but hey, they need to force OT. At minimum, force OT. And not the best start. 2 defensive rounds, 2 opportunities on the primary sites, and Fury win out both comfortably. A long, long way back now for Hasib Warriors as Doctor's back in the server. We'll see if they can mount already a bit of a case that they are going to be a competitor in this match.
5 seconds to go. Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb.
Keep us secured.
So into round 3 we go then, and Hasib now with full 5 players inside the lobby. We'll see if Fury look to keep up this pace. Based on the lineup, it would suggest that it will. Doesn't get much more rush heavy than this with the Deimos in combination with your more traditional rush operators. Taha down below could be a threat though. Might be another case of Fury trying to exploit through bathroom, but we actually see positionally Hasib ready for that this time. Nicolas this time on the karaoke rappel though. He'll be self-sufficient with the smokes. Solus has been targeted, so good prio there from the attack. Should force Taha out of that room below, free up some space on the staircase. And with the diffuser in the hands of BG Man, he's likely going to look to push there. Unless they look to go more direct, although that's pretty risky. I don't think they're going for it.
Fast entry. So far, BG feels like he was dodging bullets for a little while there, but eventually does go down to Taha. That's Kit, by the way, so Kit in sight. And I mean, I did speak unironically about the Deimos for form, but it is I9 bringing it this round. Only 1 death mark remaining, so he's gone early on those. Still 1 EE, 1D for form. In fairness, another fast-paced round for Fury. And I9 with the Vendetta does get himself a kill on to Taha. So all dealt with, 90 seconds left. Back to a 4 versus 4. Can make his way up Black Stairs. Dark still on the balcony. And there's going to be that final death mark. Off it goes, zipping away onto Hasib once piece, who is holding towards Black Stairs. Frag thrown from I9. He still has got that ping advantage. They got the push as well from the balcony. Get the kill onto Hasib once piece. Dark got traded. In fact, trade's now going the way of Hasib Warriors. Did it with a double. And all of a sudden, down to Mad Dark Ranger himself in a 1 versus 3. For the 37-year-old coach stand-in for tonight in place of Crit J. He couldn't, surely.
I don't think so. I would gasp quite loudly if he wins this. I mean, this doesn't have any info anyway to play off, so with some info becomes potential, but with these circumstances, it is unfortunately all but impossible.
I believed a little bit.
No, I didn't.
Like, I say a little bit. I mean, like 5%. You didn't believe any percent?
I believed about 0.1%.
Oh, that's something. Well, big round for Hasib. Needed that. Absolutely needed that. Couldn't go 3 rounds less on the defense. They're on the board. Every round is going to matter so much, especially on this defensive half of Skyscraper over to Xe and Office. I personally don't pay too much attention to the current statistics of Skyscraper in Asia League. I know it says it's like 53% defender sided, which is not a lot. Basically says coin flip. I'm going to be completely honest, in a lot of other regions, that's not the case, and it shouldn't really play out that way when Fury go into the defense as well. So I'm not paying too much mind to that. There's always reasons you can, if you go and dig into those games, there's probably like a top team versus the bottom team, and they started attack or something like that. It skews the statistics, especially with such a small subsample. But defensive rounds are going to be so important for Hasib.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, certainly is. I really don't think Hasib can afford to slip up too many more times here in this half. Almost looking at them having to win the next 3 straight, which would reflect a perfect rotation, include a tertiary site. So it's certainly a challenge. But they need to lay those foundations down if they want to push this game to overtime. Again, to reiterate, they are only searching for a single point towards the standings in this match. That's enough to secure top 6. 6 rounds, all they need. Unfortunately for them, though, Fury, they have every reason to gun for full 3 points in this regulation win. Gonna bump them up to 2nd, send Elevate down. Elevate, oddly enough, will actually play the 6th place team tomorrow, if that's to be the case. Map clear at the moment from Fury, as we have to see that mirror window through T facing top black stairs. Ash in response. And I think it's been forfeited by the defense. Outside of this hold, it's Z-Dux again over towards Guiche.
Oh. Oh! Oh, he got him! Long range shot. Z-Dux gets the kill onto Lake Coles. At least takes one with him to the grave. PG Man in a good position and got the trade. 4 versus 4. These rounds have been very close. Hasib wants peace. Apparently so, because he's on 0 kills. 90 seconds left. May have to give up that drum control. Never mind. He no longer wants peace. Wants bloodshed. Kill onto Dark on the Mez drop. And that's a big moment of the round for Hasib Warriors. Certainly can now just play sight. Don't have to continue this extension on the roam. I9 clears backstairs barbed wire. Vaughn's still outside. And unfortunately has not been able to make an impact in this game thus far. I think you mentioned in the game against Direwolves, he dropped 6 kills, 9 deaths. So that was at least a kind of game where he had good moments. But so far, here on Skyscraper has really struggled on the attack.
Yeah, it's been rough. Can Fury try and bring this round back? 3v4 not completely unsalvageable, but again, it's going to be a bit of a rough challenge in isolating these picks. 3 flashbangs for BG Man could prove critical. But with only 3 players left, they're all likely going to be pushing from this west position. Hasib just needs to establish angles and work together. If somebody is flashed out, BG Man is that threat. Outside main breach. As I9 has been given some space to crouch forward. This could be an important part of the round if this army falls, but I9 whiffs.
Yeah, that might have been the moment that Fury had as a win condition. That is now gone. Down to just I9. Position known. Vaughn can't make entry. 0-4. Dinny gets 3 on collapsing towards site. And a second round established now for Hasib Warriors. And well, a stark difference that we've seen in the last 2 rounds than what we saw in the opening 2. I'm not going to lie, guys. The opening 2 rounds of this game, it was like bully mode from Fury. Fast pace, quick entries, quick kills, total dominance and control. We got to attack pause, and on that other side, Hasib Warriors have transformed into a team that looks very strong defensively, not giving up ground without at least maybe taking 1 or 2 with them. Difficult to push over. Yeah, I mean, there's still 2 more rounds to go this half, but if they can get to like 4 defensive rounds, I'd feel very confident for them that they can maybe get a result here.
Yeah, I mean, potentially, but again, it's very much a 1 round at a time approach here, and it needs to be for Hasib. If they want a 2-4 split in their favor, it's going to come down to the tertiary site, which we'll now see an appearance over towards Barbecue Kitchen, round 5. This, to me, is the most important round of the half in the context we find ourselves at the moment. Gives Hasib the opportunity for the 4-2 split. Probably then mounts, some proper pressure on Fury, who by all accounts may have came into today expecting a relatively easy win, like the majority of us and I suppose probably the community as a whole. But that might not be the case, especially now with the sub in play. You're going to have to grind away at this game a little bit, especially if they want all 3 points. But it's BG Man to step up and deny the spawn peek from Taha. So good read from him. And Fury more than happy to play with this advantage, and a team that's quite reliable in playing into these advantages as well.
Yeah, it's a catch-22 moment there, I think, for Taha and for Hasib Warriors. You've won a couple of rounds, you've got a bit of advantage. Look to maybe double down on that and get aggressive, but unfortunately loses. It's always easy to, reward if he hits that shot and Taha gets a kill and it's a 5-on-4. We're sitting here singing the praises of Hasib Warriors. Instead, now it looks like a round that could go the way of Fury. Still need a lot more work to be done. Gemini in through Dragon, gets rid of the Sawyer Gate. And the Yokai spotted as well the power of the IQ scanner. Collis is trying to find out where that really is.
So Fury don't look to snowball the advantage too quickly in this round. Minute 40 on the clock. Geisha extension still in play. BG Man though to help flush it out. And the rest of the team now pinching over towards Drum. Doctor formulates a response though with the Nitro Cell. Oh, did I not see him? Surely saw him. The heals in towards Geish. Perhaps not initially, but Hasib now on an island. Camera though, giving information to the defense, making it tricky for him to be cleared, but like Colas finds an opening elsewhere, doubles down. Zedux can't respond fast enough to that, not his fault. Hasib looks for the trade, also delayed. Diddy now. Oh, he's good for one, but no more. Tertiary site, I said it was probably going to make or break the defense here, and maybe Hasib's chances at winning this game. Unfortunately, it does not go their way, and now places even more importance here on the final round of the half.
Yeah, I don't want to be too critical, but in that moment, you got like a double stack of karaoke, one player out in the hallway. You're just far too vulnerable. Giving up way too much. No real geisha control, no Mez control. You're just completely on an island. And like Hollis just gets a free push in. I mean, the second kill on Zedox, he's not even looking in his direction because he's got other positions he needs to look at. It's not a case of a misplay. If he's looking at that doorway, if you got two players looking at the one doorway, that's a misplay. Like in this moment here, look at Zedox. I know it looks like he gets shot in the back, but he's looking at I9. Like he's looking at other players. If they're double looking at the same position, then I9 probably gets the kill onto Zedox anyway. So then you got to kind of question if that is the case. Then it comes down to positioning in the first place. I mean, really well done for Fury and put the pressure on early. Taha is probably kicking himself that he goes for that spawn peak, but again, as I said, it's that risk versus reward. Everyone knows it. If you hit the shot and you get that opening kill, you look like the hero. You set the round up nicely for the defense. Instead, he made them quite vulnerable. One more round to go in this half, and to be completely honest, it's must win for Hasib. Need this third round. Otherwise, it's going to be incredibly difficult to envision they're going to be able to break Fury's defense so many times over that they can send this one to OT.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Oh, BG got the pick in the previous round, denying that spawn pick. It's important that Hasib don't give away anything for free here back on the primary site. The expectation being that they should win this round, but will it be enough? The Blitz is back in play. I9 will be looking for some pressure, presumably through Black Stairs. There's not a ton of utility support in the position for Hasib at the moment. So I hope they have the systems in place to support him. Otherwise, he may be forced to forfeit it. Currently rotating, as BG does actually find that pick again elsewhere. Once more on Taha, like the previous round. And with Lycolas doubling down, a 4-2 split for Fury, looking very promising.
Yeah, I can't hate though what Hasib were trying to do by being a little bit more aggressive, because they know if they just sit back site, they give up map control, and Fury are able to kind of do what they did in the opening 2 rounds. It's a case of column A, column B, and in the end, they just aren't really able to hit some shots, and that's really all it kind of comes down to. Fury just a little bit more clinical in their gunplay. Like Cola's going for the Palion already. Does get punished. That was very aggressive. I9 hadn't really even got position in towards karaoke, and they hadn't even cleared out T-Room. So that was probably a little bit jumping of the gun from Lycolas. I9 low, Dark low. I know Dinny is as well, but it's certainly a winnable round now. And Dinny, as I say, his name finds the kill onto Dark. I9 still low on that blitz. Not a real utility though. Oh, the moving Talon Shield of Vaughn on the Ossa. Still 0-4. 60 seconds left, trying to just keep control. Looking down that hallway. BG Man still flashes. One smoke up for I9. Triple stack here on the Black Stairs side. Vaughn has made his way in. Just a bit of extra cover to go for this plant. Again, no real utility to stop this. Turns around, plant goes down, BG Man to play cover. No blitz in play with I9's death. Doctor gets up close, does get the kill. He got off the kit. He didn't even stick it. The kit's not even down. Doctor with a pistol in 1 versus 1. Oh no! Fury win the round anyway. It's a calamity here on T-Room and Karaoke. What a salvage from BG, man. Vaughn got off the kit at the last second, lost his life. Fortunately, BG man clutches.
Yeah, just a small moment of panic there for Fury. I'm almost certain the plant could have been stuck behind the shield, as he would have been protected for a little while longer. The fact that he was even allowed to be threatened whilst in that plant position was a little bit questionable from Fury, but they did all the hard work before that point in time, and then they tidied it up after that diffuser was dropped anyway. So 4-2 half. Things looking good here for Fury. It's every world in which now Fury 2 primary sides back-to-back have match point. And for Hasib, they're going to have to grind away. They need 4 more rounds to make top 6.
Yeah, I mean, this is very difficult task now for Hasib Warriors. Nicely done for BG, man. Dev was hyping him up on the desk. 7-3 from him, like Colas. Kind of did give away his life a little bit on that rappel. In the early portions of that last round, despite the fact they got an opening kill. 4-2 for attacking rounds from Fury. Really nicely done. And I will say this as well. I know we come into this game with full expectations Fury should win and win comfortably, but it is a danger game. Like, it's the last game of the play day. We already saw what Knock Knock were able to do in their earlier match. You cannot discredit if Hasib play at their very best and Fury, with a coach, are down 10-15%. You just don't know what kind of result you could get. They have to be switched on. Yes, Vaughn struggling to really get involved. I think he could be more impactful on the defense, a little bit easier for him to just kind of lock down, hold in position, force Hasib to push into him rather than him having to play hard breach and bring shields on the Ossa and kind of just do what he's kind of told to do. He can just hold a position, and I think that way he can get a little bit more involved and get some frags. Hasib Warriors are going to have to be really impressive here on their attack. Straight over to Office and Exhibition here into the 7th round. VIP single wall gets opened up. Salma's thrown. Taha still watching on the rappel. Born deep sight. I mean, a good position here. Shouldn't really have to peek too often or too much. I don't know how aggressive he's going to be over towards main breach. Does still have the Kaid claws. I-9-1 in back pocket, but there is a Thatcher on the board, so not really the full defense.
Yeah, not a bad response in the other round here for him. Hasib denying some of that hard breach potential, making it a little bit challenging here. Oh, pardon me, from Fury in denying that hard breach. Pardon me, we have switched sides. And so that is going to make things a little bit challenging now for Hasib. They'll rotate for map control on the karaoke side of the map, but as you can see, like Colas and Dark locking down that drum cross respectively. And so it's static at the moment for Hasib. Somebody needs to be forcing pressure on this defense, see if any cracks appear. Because at the moment it's pretty slow going. Minute to go. Zedox finally boots on the ground. This feels like a do or die fight for him, but it's the footholds through drum. Not accounted for. Freebie for like Colas, who can double down.
It's the exact same play. Yeah, it's just a very poor moment there for Hasib Warriors. Not paying enough mind there as to what like Colas can see and what Hasib can't see. Zedox and Hasib wants peace, both falling in the same fashion. Like Colas can get aggressive here. You push past that frag. At that point, if you push back, you die to it. It's a triple down for like Colas, so they're round of 4-on-2 now. And unfortunately for Hasib wants peace, and Hasib Warriors gets me every time. Like Colas is onto a quad. Dinny's the last one. It's a cheeky ace from like Colas. He's been sensational in this game. What a round. Smiles all round. Well, at least from Vaughn. He was smiling. And Fury, yeah, it's kind of just getting the job done for them. They've been great this stage, Fury. After the initial couple of play days, they've really stepped it up a notch. Getting themselves back into a position where they can contend to go to Manchester. Like Colas, what a round, 5 kills. Technical issue called out immediately from Taha. And I think from here, it's probably just about done. And that means this game's done. It also means then this could be the end of the stage for Hasib Warriors if they cannot find a way to claw this back. Now, a reminder, overtime loss would be enough. They don't need any kind of regulation win. Because can you envision them winning 4 of the next 5 rounds on attack against Fury? I personally can't.
Yeah, no, probably not. They really had to set the tone there on the primary site, get off to a good start. Because inevitably on the second rotation, if they make it that far, it will come back to bite them again anyway. So it's such an uphill battle for them, very tough. We're now going to a tactical timeout off the back of the tech. And so an opportunity for Hasib over the last 60 seconds or so to discuss the game plan going forward. I think they very much would have gone into tonight knowing it was going to be a rough game, but with the expectation, even after the earlier result, that they could still qualify for top 6.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
And probably just looking to reaffirm them that belief in the team in the last minute. If you've lost belief now, then you may as well just disconnect, because it's not going to be good enough. Got to still have belief at this point in time. It is possible. Fury literally have a substitute on 0 kills. If you can make the rest of the team feel the grunt of that, it is doable. Unfortunately, those too many times key players or individual players have been allowed to shine for Fury and not being traded, not being shut down by Hasib.
10 seconds left before insertion.
A really workman-like performance from Fury in this game as well.
5 seconds to go.
Not really holding any of their punches. I think they've played really good. Fundamental siege. Like Colas goes off on a bit of an individual rampage in that last round, but also it was also just Hasib Warriors kind of feeding into him. Just plays a position in drum with footholds, and he gets a free double off that, pushes towards restaurant stairs off the back of that frag. He can't push back anyway. There's a third, and then they all just collapse in the hallway. So from Colas' perspective, it's probably one of the easier aces he would ever find in Pro League, just the way that it plays out. He's also playing frontline positions. If you're someone like Vaughn holding deep sight, you're just never even in any kind of position where you're going to get those kind of kills. Colas though on the front line, benefits. 12 and 4, massive game from him. 7 and 3 from BG Man. And Fury haven't really put a foot wrong. But a great swing from Doctor, and well, maybe a foot has been slightly pivoted. Colas loses his life. Opens up the round now for Hasib Warriors with a man advantage. What can they do from here? As long as they can hold on to this for at least the next minute or so, clear ground, get map control, move forward, clear out positions like Drum and Mezzanine, and maybe they could find success here in the 8th round.
Yeah, good first early pick. Pretty opportunistic there from Hasib. Alleviates a lot of that pressure on the side of the map and the time sink that often comes with it. Quick pivot over towards Geisha. That will be opened up promptly as well. Off the back of the Thatcher EMP. And that exothermic charge. Solid groundwork. But again, it comes down to the late run here from Hasib. Are they able to isolate these players? If I'm them and I identify Thorn inside of Guiche, I am just absolutely going all in on that. Isolate him, get it to a 3v5, and then the rest of the round should unravel for Fury. So we'll see if that's what they do. Double repel, but it's actually Taha elsewhere to unlock the round. Vaughn does fall in the meantime as BG finds 1. Now it's just himself and Dark.
Oh, that angle from BG Man was good, but he gets offered at the last moment, finds no kill, and loses his only teammate remaining in Dark. Shot in the back, and that's a really solid round from Hasib Warriors. Well worked, start to finish, on a tea room and karaoke site, the main primary site when it comes to Skyscraper, and that was arguably one of their best team effort rounds. They've already won a couple of rounds back on their defense in the first half, but that round there, I think is very easy to say was their best round that we've seen so far, and a very pivotal one. Denies Fury match point, gives them a 3rd round, keeps that scoreboard ticking over, and it keeps it close. And Fury, instead of opting for a repeat, go to the tertiary barbecue and kitchen. Massive chance and opportunity now for Hasib. They can double down, get a 2nd attacking round in a row, 5-4, clear out the tertiary site. They get a bit closer. I mean, as it stands, you are 3 rounds away from playoffs. That is a very achievable feat to do against a very difficult team, but it's only 3 rounds.
Yeah, I think it's also really important that Hasib were able to convert off the back of the tactical as well. They got some good value from that. Don't know how much of that would have necessarily been strategy or if it was really just mental. And ensuring that belief was still instilled in the roster. Because it is doable. Again, Vaughn is 0-6. If I'm them, my entire game plan is revolved around just absolutely punishing him out of position and then playing with the advantage. And if you can, as we saw in the last round, find advantages elsewhere, they're just bonus ticks on the checklist. So fundamentals need to be strong here, continue to be strong from Hasib. This objective for Fury will break. It'll break the camel's back if they win it though. So I know we keep saying these rounds in isolation continue to be important, but It's another important one on the cards here. For Hasib especially. Someone on the wall. Over towards Exhibition. An office. I9 looking to peel back. Inevitably will want to play above the objective inside of Guiche, I assume. But just looking to stall out this push.
It's been a rough game. Vaughn just has to stay locked in, and his moment could come deep into this game, and it could be a difference maker. 5-3. Hasib Warriors fighting tooth and nail to get into the playoffs. I'm not sure if it was mentioned on the desk. It may have. But if Hasib Warriors actually do manage to beat Fury here, or to get the result they're looking for, they would play Fury again tomorrow night in a best of 3. So that must instill some kind of confidence. If you can beat them, maybe you can do it again. Battle hit from Lycolis is just won pretty comfortably though from VIP. But at the same time, Dark had found a kill. That's an aggressive push from Diddy, trying to maybe just retake this position. 4 versus 2 now, and despite the opening kill going the way of Hasib Warriors in this round, a very quick fire back from Fury has seen them take a 2-player advantage. And even on this tertiary site, Barbecue and Kitchen, Fury are looking very strong. Whoa. I feel like he almost accidentally fell down the hatch.
1v3 then.
Oh,
Hasib taken low. Position revealed.
how did he not do any damage there? I swear he looked good there. That would have been so close. Drops down the hatch. Vaughn. Oh, Vaughn didn't even see him drop the hatch.
37. 37. He only just reacted to it now. That's how slow his reaction time was.
I swear you can see it as well. I'm pretty certain you've seen him just drop the hatch, mate.
I feel bad for him. To be fair,
no.
Vaughn, again, in that Divals game, he went 6-9. Like, this guy is not... You know, this is not an expected result from him. But a testament to the rest of Fury. They have stepped up. Big objective to win out. Primaries will begin to unlock. And Hasib need a perfect rotation to make it back into the top 6.
I mean, the primary was unlocked even in that round. They just opted to send the tertiary anyway. Tyrion Karaoke, of course, was lost out the round prior. But yeah, like, can we watch it again? Oh, maybe he didn't see him. Okay. I mean, should have heard him though, right? Like, he would have heard him drop. And at that point, could have readjusted. But I guess the reaction time on that...
It was forgivable. He gets a
But it was forgivable. On our side, it
you wouldn't have won that fight, which means that he wouldn't have won that fight.
I would have been dead at that point anyway, so I wouldn't have even been alive. Vaughn was good enough that he kept himself alive.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, 3 match points now for Fury. It does mean for Hasib Warriors they're going to win 3 rounds in a row without failure. If they can do that, then they get into the playoffs, then they'll play Fury again tomorrow night. If not, then they're out. And Fury will also, if they win it in regulation, go into 2nd place, which would put Elevate down into 3rd. Elevate would then be taking on Knock Knock tomorrow night in the quarterfinal.
Lycolis has been very nonchalant in the server tonight. He's been oozing confidence. I don't think I've ever seen Lycolis play like this in my life. It's been good to watch though. 14 kills so far. We'll see how many more he may be able to find in this match, which is unlikely to go on for all too much longer. Looking for something outside on this Geisha Rappel with the rest of the attack working in towards the objective. Oh, it's a free kill. Yeah. Ah, that's a shame. And it's Taha again. Taha has had a rough game so far tonight. He's been on the receiving end of the entry now 3 times. That said, at least the first 2 times in which he did die first. Actually, no, sorry. I was going to say it wasn't converted, but it was converted. So it's actually a bad precedent for Hasib Warriors. And BG won the back-to-back entries against him. Fury went on to win the round. And if that trend continues, this match will be over in the next minute or so.
Yeah, I don't really care about anything you just said, guys. All I want to see is Vaughn get a kill here before this round is over.
But you might be waiting a while.
Well, I hope not.
You won't be waiting too long, but it's not going to happen.
Well, yeah, there's not 90 seconds left, so I'm not waiting that long. But I just want to see Vaughn swing something, go for a kill. The problem here, right? And other people are going to look, oh, he's 0-7. He's also playing sight on defense, and he was playing hard breach on attack.
He's not
You
throwing.
said it. Yeah, he's not throwing. Like, if he wants to start swinging things and starts dying early in rounds, it opens up potential for the attack to take good position. And Fury on the defense have not really lost, you know, too many of these contact positions. Like Collis is getting aces. There's no one left for Vaughn to even kill, and no one's even getting close to sight that he gets involved. But I want to see him get a kill. Come on. He has to probably put. He needs to push off sight because
Based on what I'm seeing here, they're not making it to sight.
Yeah, they're not going to get to sight. I know with a flank up black stairs, he should get another one here.
Reloading.
Not quite. But that player in Dinny is very much pinched. One player left, Doctor. Come on, Vaughn, send it! Or maybe Doctor just run into the side. Vaughn!
Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go.
Move, BG! BG, move! No! Yes! No! Oh, no! I've just gone through 1,000 emotions.
15 seconds to go.
I think BG Man was like, trade me, just trade me. And Vaughn couldn't trade him. Look at him, look at BG Man. Oh, well, Fury get the win. Second place. It feels like a bit of a warm-up performance for them heading into the playoffs, but not a warm-up that was required because they get the bye now. They do not have to play tomorrow. They get a week off, a week's break. Into second place they will go. It means we've got a confirmation. Knock Knock have made the playoffs in sixth place. They'll take on Elevate, though, a daunting task tomorrow night for sure. Commiserations to Hasib Warriors. You know, not the worst performance ever, but just completely outclassed by a Fury team that is peaking at the right time. And I cannot wait to see what they can do in the playoffs. Congratulations to Fury. Commiserations, of course, again to Hasib Warriors. And we'll go to the desk.
Commiserations to Xenox's poor little hair strands that aren't keeping with the rest of them there underneath that headset. But look, it's a somber note to end on for Hasib. They did give it a fair crack, Dev, but at the end of the day, we went into this knowing full well what the consequences of this game were going to be.
For sure, Hasib, they had a bit of a bad game, but can we just be excited for Fury for a second? They've made top 2. Everyone was saying that Elevate with the new kids on the block, the new roster was going to come through, Bleeder in peak form, but Fury were the back-to-back champions last year. One of my personal favorite teams. I've got a soft spot for the Thai teams, and they've made it on through. They've made it in second seed. They get a bye tomorrow. And I'm just really happy for them. And to do that while playing 2 of the matches they won with a substitute, and a substitute that, how do I put this kindly, is not at the, not quite at the caliber of the rest of the roster.
Wow.
That's quite impressive. And it just means that Lycolis has an excuse to pop off. And I think that's bloody awesome.
It's pretty crazy that like Vaughn and Xenox have 2 things in common. They're both old and they both can't play. But Mandy, you don't need to play when the rest of your team is doing what Fury's doing. It's a really good look for Fury heading into playoffs. You know, even a 7-3. I mean, you've got to say that that's probably for us in terms of competitiveness. I know this sounds brutal, but that is the pass mark for Hasib. Fury is the second best team in Asia.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I mean, Hasib, they started out on the defense first half. They got their 3 rounds, but as soon as they tried to make their attack attempts, it was just absolutely abysmal. Unfortunately, Fury just really took over from there on out. And yeah, I mean, Hasib, they gave it a crack on a map that's pretty hard to crack into. So yeah, they tried their best. I think I wouldn't advise going back to Skyscraper, to be honest, if I'm a team like that, trying to get your fundamentals down, that type of thing. But they gave it a go.
You said, you know, elementary from, you know, the game, I guess, mechanics and knowledge, elementary from Hasib versus Fury coming into this. Sorry, I'm absolutely dying. I had a small bit of mineral water before we came back, and it was the worst idea I could have had. But we were kind of, you know, touting this as a very, very difficult uphill battle for Hasib. But what we needed to see from Fury was to double down and to lock it in. That they did with their coach. Speaking of their coach, let's welcome in James Bond. Vaughn joins us now. Vaughn, welcome, my friend. How are you?
Welcome. Hello. Today I feel great because the result is good, and then I'm hope that we can win, and then we got what we need. That's it.
Yeah. Look, you've subbed in twice now for the team. Are you feeling like next stage you're going to be playing?
No, no, I'm not gonna play for sure. That's on record, okay?
Look, I did want to ask you, obviously it was a slow start to the stage. The first game you guys lost
Yeah.
to Jalita, then you played Bleed, which was always going to be the hardest game of the stage, and you lost. But now you've won 5 matches in a row, every single one. You've looked better. 2 of them, obviously, you've had to play because of the substitute situation. How is the team feeling? Like, what's the vibe moving into best of 3s? Because obviously you've made it into the top 2, but you're not in that number 1 spot yet, and there is only 1 place at the major for Asia.
Mhm. I think you're asking for the overall our performance, right? For overall, from my perspective as a coach, I think that we all did great every single matches. Even we lost to the Jelida, we lost to the Bleed, but we try something new. We try to control the game. We try our way to play, and then hope for the result. And the mindset is quite important for this stage for us because we just finished invitation and then we just have the competition right away on stage 1. Everything quite fast, but we stay firm and we trust in each other. We focus on the process as a team at the Fury. That's it.
Yeah, my question for you is, what is your process and contribution to the team as a coach? As a head coach, are you more on like the strategic side? Are you the person that writes up all the strats? Or are you more on the mental side of things, like trying to get the players in the right headspace for performance? Do you do a bit of both? Talk us through what you do on the team.
I think overall for this question, it's clearly that the player take control or the way of thinking, the how they want to play. For my duty and my responsibility is just finding the niche and what works and or not, something like that. The process is quite that the player need this, and then I just find the answer that is possible or not, and then we try to find the way. Or if I have information, I give it feedback to them, and then they just try it out, and we can kind of try it out together, so we know what exactly this strat is working or not, something like that. It's a two-way communication for the team.
It sounds like everything's actually coming together really nicely as we hit the last portion, as we get into playoffs. You guys, with this win, have jumped up into semi-finals and you get a bye. So first off, congratulations for that. And secondly, would you like to say anything for the audience at home before we let you go?
Can I say it in Thai?
Please go for it.
เราทำสำเร็จครับขอบคุณที่เชียร์และเจอกันนะครับผมกับรอบ playoff ครับผม I say that thank you for the cheering and then just hope for the best for us in the playoff. That's it.
Vaughan, very wholesome, my friend. Congratulations on a great stage, and we're keen to watch the performance of Fury heading into playoffs. Take care, mate.
Thank you. See you.
Very well spoken, and it truly, truly does go to show that there is a process hidden and driven behind Fury that we are unaware of, Dev. It's kind of scary to think that this is where, I guess, the ultimate form of Fury is going. You know, they accept defeat against the better teams, but they're trying different things.
Yeah, and these guys have actually been around the block for quite some time now. I remember back a few years ago, these guys were kind of like the Daystar of Apex South. They were right at the bottom. They started, I think it was stage 1 in 2022, I'm going to say. They were dead last in the league. They were completely winless. And then by stage 3 that same year, they made it to the Sweden Major, the Jönköping Major. This is a bit unfortunate showing Vaughan's stats, but...
Wow, you can't do that. You can't do it.
But the guy was a mad lad. And also, I got something to say about Vaughan. So, it turns out, after 6 Invitational, after these guys were knocked out, obviously the teams always fly home the next day, sometimes the same night that they get eliminated. It's really ruthless. But Vaughn and Lycolis, I bumped into them at one point, like the day of the finals, and they just stayed the whole time. They wanted to go and experience the whole event. They were spending that extra time like networking, obviously like getting connections with these other teams that they will likely be scrimming if they manage to do boot camps overseas in the future. I think that like these guys have actually become like veterans of the scene. Like obviously Lycolis is a veteran of APAC, but I think that the international experience that these teams, and particularly Fury, as the most experienced team in Asia right now, have garnered, I think it's going to benefit them greatly. And we will see that in the BO3s. Like, that was the round robin done.
Yep.
Put a line through it. BO3 is a different beast, especially for Fury, and Bleed know it better than